Well, good afternoon. I'm Lisy McKinnon, Interim Director of Alumni Communications and Marketing for Arkansas Alumni. I know most of you in the room, and you know me, but for those of you who don't, I'm a 1997 graduate, and hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years, I'll be a two-time graduate. I'm starting graduate school in the fall. I've been with the association now since January 2017. I started in programs serving our chapters, which is where I met many of you, and then expanded to serve our societies right before COVID. And then about 15 months ago, I was asked to provide leadership for our evolving membership and marketing team. I'm married to a University of Tennessee grad, but please don't hold it against me. He is now a bigger Razorback fan, baseball fan than probably anybody in this room, really. We have 2 children. One's a collegiate swimmer at the University of Houston, looking to pursue a law degree, maybe here, I'm hoping. And I'm proud to say that our son's going to be starting his sophomore year right here on the Hill next month. So I did get 1 Razorback. At one point in my life, I thought I was going to end up with 2 Tennessee Volunteers, so I feel like I won. All right, next slide. Yes, who are we? Next slide. That's who, oh, look. So, a little funny story I'll share with people later, I guess. First of all, Catherine Baltz is our Assistant Director of Communications. She's right there. Beth Dedman is our Digital Media Specialist. Right there, you've seen her snapping pictures all day. And then Colin Brunner, who is also a member of our team. He handles our membership experience, so stewardship and member acquisition messaging and things like that. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to work with these particular people. They're creative and dedicated, and they love this university as deeply as you do. Anyone who works in marketing and communications knows that it takes a very well-oiled machine to do what is expected in this arena on behalf of any organization. And no team is large enough, but I go home each night knowing that this team, though tiny, is mighty when it comes to output. Our team's general function is to ensure that our messaging and our visual and public presence is aligned with the association's mission as well as with our values. We pay attention to things like brand, which includes voice, and colors, fonts, logos, etc., and we pay attention to representation across all of our channels. When people see us in public, either as an association or as represented by you, our alumni groups, we want there to be no doubt that we are all part of the Arkansas Alumni Association and the University of Arkansas community. Next. All right, you can go to the next one. Drilling down just a bit, each and every piece of communication that's distributed by the Arkansas Alumni Association is related to one or more of the following purposes: promotional support for events or programs, timely and relevant information for alumni and other stakeholders, communication support for colleges, divisions, and campuses, and our departments across campus. I want to point out my very intentional use of the word equitable, though, in that second bullet, if you want to go back a minute. We heard Yvette talk about this morning. As we're talking about support, we recognize that not all alumni groups are the same. They don't have the same needs. They don't have the same resources in terms of human capital. So later, when we're talking about guidelines, please know that this is not about creating rigidity that treats everyone exactly the same. It's about creating a framework in which we can provide every group with what they truly need to help us accomplish our goals. Next. And next. So how do we do this? Well, we have multiple channels. And to help me illustrate the impact of our communication plan, I've enlisted a couple of our members to help make this a little more interactive so you don't have to listen to my voice all day. First, email. To talk about email, Beth Dedman, our digital media specialist / email guru, has just a few questions to test your knowledge.
All right, hi everybody. I badgered you for photos earlier. I'm going to badger you for email trivia now, so get ready for it. Okay, show of hands, or raise your hand if you think you have a guess. How many total emails do you think we sent out in fiscal year 22? You're not technically wrong. Okay. 24. A little higher, a little higher, a little higher. 2 million. A little lower.
47.
Still higher.
200.
We're going for more.
350.
More.
Individual emails?
Yep.
500.
I'm not that talented.
373.
You're closer. I appreciate y'all thinking I have that kind of capacity.
Ben, you're talking the number of emails, not the number of people that are getting emails.
No, I'm talking emails. I'm
So
talking
the number of, I guess, total campaigns, or just?
just email, like individual emails that we send out. I'm not talking about to the number of people that receive them. Sorry.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so
125.
I will go ahead and let y'all know.
I think we've had enough guesses now.
I think, give ourselves a little bit of credit. We sent out 983 total emails in fiscal year 22, comprising of 468 different unique campaigns. Now, a campaign would count as at Arkansas or our events newsletter that we segment to different chapters or societies depending on what is relevant to their information.
And that's what gets us to the 983.
Exactly. A segment is a version of an email that is tailored to different audiences. For example, the Chicago chapter would receive information about our Chicago Chancellor's reception, whereas the NWA segment might receive information about our Yappy Hour event that's happening later this month. So we like to tailor that information so that you only get relevant content. Okay, next question, probably a little closer to what y'all were guessing a minute ago. How many people do you think that we've reached through our emails?
Ask them for, I guess, give them either unique or total. What do you want them to guess? Because I think
Okay.
we need two different numbers there.
Let's start with total recipients.
So this would count people each time. This is not unique.
Okay, so then let's go with
No,
unique.
I like that. Let's,
You'd
no,
start
let's
with
not
total?
go unique. Let's go with total.
Okay.
So you might receive, let's say you receive 3 emails, we would count all of those.
Yes.
As opposed to just you as a person, we touched you, one time.
Sent rate.
Sent. This is the total number of emails to people.
But I'll get to that question in a minute.
Yeah.
You're close to the unique recipients number. But in terms of emails that have hit
Think
inboxes,
about how many emails you get from us.
closer,
I said 5 million and now it's closer.
4 million.
10 million.
little higher than her guess. Little lower than your guess. There we go, 6 million total recipients. Thank you very much. With 190,710 unique recipients, so your guess was a little close there for that answer. For our campus partners, which part of my role is facilitating the campus partner emails, how many different campus partners do you think we have at the Alumni Association?
Campus partners,
Yeah.
everybody. It's 6 minutes.
Well, not each individual person, like groups.
48.
Little lower, but close.
5 million.
Who said 30? Almost for 30?
33.
Little higher?
35.
Little higher?
6.
Little more? Almost? Woo! 39!
I love how hard you're working for no prizes.
No prize at all, except for my love and adoration. Okay, so we have 39 campus partners in FY22, and we're always looking to expand that. And you asked what you thought our open rate was. Do you want to give me a guess on what you think our open rate is?
I'm going to go 26, 27.
Higher. Who said 34?
You said 32, and somebody else said 34.
Our open rate for FY22 is 34, and just so you know, the all-industry open rate is typically about 21.3%. So we're doing pretty good here at the Alumni Association. And yeah, so I think that's my opportunity to get y'all involved and brag a bit. So thank y'all so much.
And we do attribute that higher open rate. It's going up and going up. For instance, the last 3 months, it sits at 40%. So we attribute that to the fact that we are really trying to target our messages. We don't want to send you everything. You're not interested in everything. You want to see what is relevant to you. And so we try to make our best guess, and I'm going to assume by those open rates we're doing a pretty good job, but we're always looking to do better. So thank you, Beth. Web. This might be a good time to show them our website. On arkansasalumni.org, you'll find our events calendar, special event landing pages, alumni groups toolkit, which is of a particular interest to you, registration forms, membership processing, scholarship info, information about our traditions, and then general information about the association, university, and Northwest Arkansas community. You can also find our missions and values there under the About tab. You'll see over to the right. Click on that for a second, show everybody. Hal showed it to the people who came to finance this morning, but we have something new. We have an alumni store. We'd like you all to check it out. It has limited items right now, but we're hoping to expand those. But all of these are available. All of these can be accessed through our website. We also have an Arkansas alumni blog, if you want to show them that. And here we feature alumni and scholar profiles as well as other relevant alumni stories, which we're always happy to add if you have them to share. All right. And then we move on to print. And here to see what you all know about Arkansas Magazine is Catherine Baltz, our Assistant Director of Communications.
So, Arkansas Magazine is one of our premier benefits of membership with the Alumni Association. It's published quarterly. And I just want to have a little quiz with you guys about how many of those we send to households when we mail each quarter. Now, keep in mind that a traditional issue of the magazine goes to a member household. So not one for each member within the household, but one for each physical address, okay? And for the course of FY22, we were focusing on the sesquicentennial, the 150th anniversary. So our fall issue, this is the cover. I hope you all read it. I would like you guys to guess how many households this magazine was mailed to. No. Down.
I wish. We all wish.
We all wish. Go down. Now you're closer to the number of members we have, but remember we're talking member households. So for instance, my husband and I are both members of the association, but we live at one address and we get one magazine.
6,280.
Higher?
20,000.
Lower? Higher?
17.5.
Lower? Higher?
13.
Lower?
Okay, now you're getting granular.
I'm getting granular, but we're talking about 12,200, 270 or so. Yep. Now, our winter issue was the special sesquicentennial issue. We added people to that mailing list, so all of our members received that magazine, as well as some postcards and some other inserts and a special letter. However, we also included alumni who were donors to the university during that year. And once again, we combined households. So this was the cover for the winter issue. I hope you all looked through the timeline and all the wonderful stories that were in there. And I'd like you to try to guess how many households we mailed that to. It is significantly higher than the fall.
5 million.
No.
Is that just your cat guess?
48,000.
Lower? What was that?
20,000.
Higher.
30,000.
You're in the range. 31,391. 20,000 plus of those were to non-member donors who are alumni. And of course, we made sure we promoted membership in that particular issue, so hopefully that will resonate with people. They also got a custom letter that explained that that it was traditionally a member benefit and they were giving this one-time special issue.
Great.
Yep. Just want to let you know that you should start receiving your summer issue next week.
Yep.
Watch your mailboxes.
Very excited. Thanks, Catherine. You want this one too? All right. I think getting to work on the magazine is one of my favorite things that I've gotten to do in this role. It's I'm really proud of the publication. It's something I think we put out that is really reflective of who we are as an association and who our alumni are. In addition to creation and distribution of Arkansas Magazine, though, the association produces many other print projects, large and small, throughout the year. Everything from our annual Life member labels that some of you may receive, membership appeals that we send out in print, as well as scripting and programs for anywhere from 5 to 10 signature events each year. All of these require content, approval, layout, and production in collaboration with University Relations and some of our external vendors who print those. Social media. We have all of the traditional social media accounts. Instagram, we have about 8,000 followers. Facebook, about 14.3. Twitter is at 11.8. And LinkedIn is a smaller showcase page under the university's page. We have about 800 followers there. Additionally, we have our YouTube channel that hosts things such as our annual Alumni Association commercial. These sessions will be posted on our YouTube channel, virtual events that have been recorded, especially through the pandemic. We have a lot of them there that we really would love for you all to watch. And then videos from board members and other association messaging. We also have a Flickr account, which houses tens of thousands of photos from past alumni events. And we even have a Pinterest account. Who knew we had a Pinterest account? Yep. It's got all kinds of creative ideas for the Razorback family. Check it out. We'll talk about that later. Yes, TikTok is in our future because I know that, someday the kids on campus now will be alumni, and that's how we're going to have to talk to them. So we'll figure it out. And what? And Stephen, yes. Thanks for bringing that up earlier, Stephen. I appreciate it. Our what? Twitter was 11,800. Right now we're sort of hoping to work. The university just hired a new social media manager, really excited about him, and in the process of them hiring, we received some feedback. I offered up our accounts to receive some feedback from all of those candidates, so we've got additional ideas that we're hoping to implement soon, just a matter of timing. So, raise your hand if you have the Arkansas Alumni app on your mobile device. Makes me so happy to see so many hands. This channel's a one-stop shop for digital membership card, special promotions. You can get to our alumni store as of today through the app. We send targeted notifications through the app if you have them turned on, and I know how people are about their notifications. I'm not telling you what to do, just saying it's there. And it links to the resources on our website too, and some people think that's a good alternative to access that quickly when you're on the go. As you can see, our small and mighty team is managing many channels for the association, as well as offering support to a large number of groups and partners, 26 chapters, 15 societies, and the 39 campus partners that we talked about. In order to do this well, because service excellence is one of our values, we do ask for your help. Next slide. So, guidelines. This is a dirty word. I can see the thought bubbles over your head. And I think what I want to reiterate from earlier is that the guidelines are here as a framework. I don't ever want to treat anybody in a way where you feel like you've come to us and we've just said, no, we're not going to support you. But what I hope we've demonstrated thus far is that we're managing a lot. We want to equitably and fairly serve everybody. And to do that, we just ask for a few things from you. And that's all the guidelines are in place for. Please do not see them as the law or anything rigid. We're always here for you to have a conversation with if you want to. I'll use the word negotiate. That's probably best. We're always here to talk about them. So the first thing that you can do to help us is to plan very early and very thoughtfully. We know that last-minute ideas often pop into the minds of creative and engaged alumni, which you all are, but there will be limits to what we can do, depending on time. Remember that your event interest form triggers the marketing calendar. I don't think that's been presented yet, has it, Brock? Okay, so the event interest form is in your Alumni Leader Toolkit, and this is a very basic form. You all have an idea for an event. That is your way to communicate with our programs team, and then once the programs team knows that you're getting ready to plan something, the clock starts on marketing, and they work with us on that. The calendar and the marketing calendar, that triggers the marketing calendar. And then it determines the level of support that you can expect from us. So make sure that you use that to alert the programs team the minute you know that you want to do something. In your binder, I've included two things. First, our marketing guidelines. We've had these in place since 2018. We update them annually to make sure that we're continuing to accommodate all of our group's needs. You'll see there are 3 packages for events, and they require varying degrees of planning and logistical management. We recognize that there are some events like happy hours or maybe special watch parties during the College World Series. You all can't plan 45 days in advance for those, and nor do you need to. They're not going to require a heavy marketing plan, but we'll promote these on social media. We'll work with you to make sure that we can promote those on the channels where we have availability and on our website. And we may also be able to send send notifications through our Alumni app. I would encourage you to refer to these marketing guidelines first when your group has an idea to see what's feasible. Again, you can come to us if you have something special, and we will do everything in our power to work with you. Yes?
Just mentioned they are in the resource
Okay, what tab is that?
presentation, the guidelines and the.
Okay. Tab 5. Thank you, Michael. Also in your binder is a new offering that we're really excited about. A few of our societies have had newsletters for some time, but because we hold service excellence as a value here at Arkansas Alumni, we weren't sure how to make those newsletters available to our chapters. Our societies have U of A staff liaisons that kind of help manage that process, but our chapters don't have that. They have Brock and our programs team, but that's smaller. Recently, we began considering how this might work, the feasibility of offering training and some creative privileges to our alumni volunteers. And together, our staff created some guidelines for implementing this opportunity across all of our alumni groups. Those guidelines are in there. I'm not going to read them to you, but I know that this could be of interest to our chapters. I know that there's some societies who currently do not have newsletters and might be interested. So I'd encourage you to look at those and, talk with the programs team, talk with me, and we'll see what we can get done. You'll see there's quite a bit to absorb, and I hope you'll take the time to look at both sets of guidelines on your own. It's a really great opportunity to increase engagement and customize content for our alumni and friends across the U.S. and around the globe. If you see anything in either the newsletter or marketing guidelines that you have questions about, again, I'm happy to address those. And finally, we've created a publication and content deadline calendar right there at the bottom. Sometimes you feel like you're playing a guessing game with us, and I get that. This is public, so you can see all of the regular alumni group emails that we're sending out. Keep in mind, these are just the recurring publications. So, our campus partner emails are not on there. If we're sending out, if we have an event invitation scheduled, not everything's going to be on there, but at the very least, you'll know when our content deadlines are for event newsletters and at Arkansas if you want to publicize things in there. We'll continue to schedule all of your event invitations on behalf of your group, just as we always have, according to calendar availability and, of course, in consultation with you. And that is all I have. What questions do you all have? Yes?
I'm just kind of curious of all the different social media channels, and I know you gave us the quantity of people, which is very interesting. What do you find is the most engaging?
We probably still see the most engagement on Facebook. I think that is probably reflective of kind of the age demographic that's on Facebook, and that tends to be who engages with us anyway. We are seeing more on Instagram. Twitter, I think, it's not, we don't engage as much on that. I think it's a function of what we're putting on there. Right now, we have made it a habit of sort of posting the same content to all three of those platforms, which I know is not a best practice, but it is literally a staff time issue that has caused us to do that. Part of our kind of reimagining social media strategy in collaboration with the university will address kind of tweaking content for platforms so that it makes more sense. LinkedIn, we tend to only do things related to professional development, so we kind of, that we have fewer posts there. So what else? Hi, Lynn Ann?
So I was thinking this other column, other items that may be available
Mhm.
from West. I like those.
Okay.
So, like for a Facebook ad, would y'all just do the ad for us to distribute, or would you go ahead and pay for it, send it, and click the boxes that you're supposed to do, or what?
In general, we have managed the creation of Facebook ads. We do it through our business account, which all of our chapter Facebook pages are also linked to. So we'd create it either on your page with us as a co-host or vice versa, and then we create an ad from that. And we pay for it here, and it probably will, depending on the cost, it might come out of your chapter account, but we do budget for a certain amount of Facebook advertising.
The better boxes to check, because Dave and I, this was kind of our first rodeo with this, so that would be great.
I think, Brock, did we do a Facebook ad for Art Chalk? I think we did.
No, we did,
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, we can do that for you.
no, we did blind. People showed up.
Yes, they did.
And also, we could do something in the alumni app.
Yes, we can do, I did some notifications for you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did some Art Chalk notifications. But we can do those. Those are very easy to set up. Now, if you all come to me with notification requests and I spend all of my time doing that, it becomes less easy, but it is a very easy process. Yes,
So super excited about the chapter.
I thought you might be. Yeah.
Very excited about that. Been wanting that for a while. Without reading through this big long list.
Yes.
So how does that exactly work? We draft it, get approved, and then y'all send it, and how often, or can you walk through that process at a high level?
You will submit the content to us. It's going to go out, I forget what we decided on. Was it the third Wednesday or the fourth Wednesday? They're going to go out in conjunction with our e-newsletters. So we're not adding a day to the calendar, but it'll just be more segmentation of our events newsletter. So, but with your content at the top, if you have a newsletter, if you've submitted content for that. Now, we're going to provide training. That's why I'm curious. What did we decide on the fourth Wednesday? I've got them right. That's right, they're quarterly.
The trainings will be first Wednesday, January, April, July.
That's right, because we are going to train you to create them. That's how it is. I really feel like I should have known that better. That's embarrassing. Sorry, guys. Okay, so it'll go out the same time as our e-newsletter, and we will ask you to. We'll give you the training on how to include the content that we would have put in there, but your content will take precedent. And again, we will train you on how to use that tool. But that's just something that historically we have only given access to U of A staff, our campus partners. But we feel like our alumni volunteers who are interested are trustworthy enough to be given those privileges. So we're going to train you how to do it. Yes?
So no matter what the level of, like, even if it's a small segmented group and a very isolated event.
Yes.
It's all, just so we know the timing of the planning, it only comes out the first or third Wednesday, no matter what the size is.
For event newsletters, are you talking about?
Or not even a newsletter, just like say, just we're trying to reach that listener that y'all have of that segment.
Well, yes. If you look at the marketing guidelines, it really depends on how much time you have. If you have an event that you've gotten to us 90 days in advance, there's actually an option for a standalone email. So we could send it just a straight email to your population about only the event or program or activity that you're promoting. For our events newsletters, we send those out twice a month, but we also communicate with members once a month, and so, which is a smaller audience, but it is three potential touches each month.
So, a single event email is only for you say 90 days?
90 days or 60 days, actually 60 days. Mhm.
But any smaller than that, it's only goes out.
It'll go with the newsletter, yep. Anyone else?
Is this the new asterisk, you must have volunteered to serve as contribution for 2 years?
Yeah. That's for the training. The training is, it's not hard. It's just, once we train somebody, we don't want to have to train somebody every quarter, somebody new every quarter. We're hoping, and we realize people move away and, and things happen, which is why we're offering the trainings quarterly as well. I think we're just hoping that we can find people who will sort of dedicate themselves to that for a length of time on behalf of a group. It's a best practice because then, it becomes second nature for them. It doesn't take them that long.
Is that online training?
It'll be virtual unless you're in town and you want to come by. We can also make arrangements to do in person. All right. Well, I appreciate your attention, and if you have any more questions about anything I talked about or anything else related to communications, let me know. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Trivia. Let's see here. Oh, there it is. All right. What was the original name of the U of A when it was founded in 1871? I see a hand.
Arkansas Industrial University.
That is correct.